Greetings, enchantment enthusiasts. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're exploring one of the most elegant and powerful strategies in Commander, Sythis, Harvest's Hand. For just 2 mana, 1 green and 1 white, we get an enchantment creature that does something absolutely bonkers. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you gain 1 life and draw a card. Let me repeat that. Whenever you cast an enchantment, not when it enters, when you cast would it. This deck is a card drawing, life gaining, face smashing machine that wins by burying opponents under an avalanche of enchantments while drawing our entire deck in the process. We're not just playing enchantments, we're building an unstoppable engine that turns every spell into pure value. This is Enchantress taken to the absolute extreme, and I am here for it. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button as we dive into this masterclass of Selesnya Synergy. Our first objective: turn this deck into an unstoppable card drawing engine with our Enchantress army. Argotian Enchantress is the gold standard, a 2 mana 0/1 with Shroud that draws us a card whenever we cast an enchantment. She's been dominating Legacy Enchantress for decades. Mesa Enchantress is our 3 mana backup with the same ability. Eidolon of Blossoms has the Constellation ability. It draws us a card whenever any enchantment enters, including itself and auras on cast. Citizen Champion is a powerhouse, draws a card on Constellation, and gets a pop 1 to pulse 1 counter, turning it into a massive threat. Here's the beautiful thing. With Sythis and just one other Enchantress in play, every enchantment we cast draws us 2 cards. With 3 Enchantresses, 3 cards per spell. We're not playing Magic anymore. We're playing a card advantage simulator. The card draw is completely absurd. Now, let's talk about how we actually win. This is the Aura Voltron package that transforms Sythis from a humble 1 or 2 into an unkillable monster. Ethereal armor costs 1 white mana and gives 1+1 for each enchantment we control, plus first strike. With 15 enchantments in play, that's +15 with first strike for 1 mana. All that glitters is similar, 1+1 for each artifact and enchantment. Ancestral Mask is the classic, 2+2 for each enchantment in play, including opponents. Enchantments. This regularly makes Sythis a 30/30 or bigger. Sage's Reverie draws us a card for each aura attached to the creature and gives +1 to +1 for each aura. That's right, it's card draw stapled to a massive buff. Here's the dream. Turn 2, Sythis. Turn 3, we cast 3 1 mana auras, drawing 3 cards and gaining 3 life. Sythis is now at 10/11, and we're just getting started. Commander damage is 21, and we regularly one-shot people by turn 5 or 6. What's better than drawing cards with every enchantment? Drawing cards with cheaper enchantments. Our cost reduction cartel makes this deck absolutely explosive. Jukai Naturalist is incredible. A 2 mana 2/2 enchantment creature with lifelink that makes all our enchantments cost 1 less. Herald of the Pantheon does the same thing and gains us life for each enchantment spell. Pearl Medallion reduces white spells by 1, and since most of our auras are white, it's essentially RAM. The Circle of Loyalty is interesting. It makes knights cheaper, but more importantly, it creates knight tokens whenever we cast legendary spells. And Sythis is legendary. With just 2 cost reducers in play, 1 mana auras become free. Free. We're casting Ethereal Armor, drawing a card, gaining a life, and it costs us 0 mana. That's when this deck goes from strong to completely unstoppable. We chain 5 to 6 spells in a single turn and bury opponents in card advantage. Sometimes Voltron isn't enough. Sometimes you need to go wide and tall. Enter our Constellation Congregation. Archon of Sun's Grace is a 4 mana 3d4 flyer with lifelink that creates a 2/2 flying Pegasus token with lifelink whenever an enchantment enters. 1 aura, 1 token. 10 auras in 1 turn, 10 tokens. Celestial Ancient is even more absurd. Whenever we cast an enchantment, put a +1 +1 counter on each creature we control. Our entire board gets massive with every spell. Nihilious Colossus doubles a creature's power and toughness on Constellation. That 10/10 Sythis, she's now 2020. Sigil of the Empty Throne creates 4/4 flying angel tokens whenever we cast an enchantment. These payoffs turn our enchantment. Storm turns into overwhelming board states. We're not just making one creature huge, we're creating an army of massive flyers while our commander swings for lethal. It's beautiful chaos. Here's the problem with Voltron strategies. Removal exists. One path to exile and our entire game plan crumbles. That's why we run the Fort Knox protection suite. Sterling Grove gives all our enchantments shroud. They can't be targeted by spells or abilities. It also has a sacrifice ability to tutor for any enchantment, making it both protection and a tutor. Privileged position makes all our permanents hexproof if we control another enchantment, which we always do. Leyline of Sanctity makes us hexproof, shutting down targeted discard, thought seize effects, and direct damage. Greater Auramancy gives all our enchantments shroud and makes our auras nearly impossible to remove. Here's the key. These stack. With Sterling Grove and Greater Auramancy in play, our auras have double shroud. Not that it matters mechanically, but psychologically. Opponents are defeated. They can't interact with our stuff and we just steamroll to victory. We're not just protecting our board, we're destroying theirs. Meet the removal renaissance. Aura Shards is one of the most oppressive enchantments in Commander. Whenever a creature enters under our control, we destroy target artifact or enchantment. With Archon of Sun's Grace making tokens, we are destroying multiple permanents per turn. It completely locks artifact and enchantment decks out of the game. Reclamation Sage is our on-a-stick removal. Destroy target artifact or enchantment when it enters. It's cheap, tutorable, and recyclable with Eternal Witness. For acceleration, Carpet of Flowers taps for blue mana, equal to the number of islands opponents control. In a format dominated by blue, this is often better than Sol Ring. Wild Growth and the other land auras give us explosive early game mana to deploy Sythis ahead of schedule. Our removal suite ensures opponents can't build their board while we're assembling ours. Every Enchantress deck needs tutors to find the right enchantment for the moment. Enter our Divine Intervention package. Academy Rector is the premium tutor. When it dies, we put any enchantment from our library directly onto the battlefield. We can sacrifice it to Aura Shards or just let it die in combat. Enlightened Tutor is the instant speed classic. 1 white mana. Put any enchantment or artifact on top of our library. Idyllic Tutor is the sorcery speed version that goes to hand. Moon Blessed Cleric is a 3 mana creature that tutors an enchantment to the top when it enters. It's Academy Rector's little sibling. Sterling Grove also tutors when we need it. The redundancy ensures we find our protection. our removal or our win conditions exactly when we need them. We're not hoping to draw the right card. We're guaranteeing it. Let's talk piloting this beautiful machine. Mulligan Guide? Keep hands with 2 to 3 lands, Sythis or an Enchantress, and 2 to 3 cheap enchantments. A hand with turn 2, Sythis and 3 1-mana auras is a snap keep. Early game, turns 1 to 3, deploy mana dorks, Llanowar Elves, Arbor Elf, Avakin's Pilgrim. Get Sythis out. Turn 2 if possible. Turn 3 start casting auras, drawing cards and making Sythis huge. Mid-game, turns 4-6. Deploy additional Enchantresses and cost reduces. With 2 Enchantresses and Jukai Naturalist, you're drawing 2 cards and casting spells for cheap. Look for Sterling Grove or other protection before making Sythis massive. Late game, turns 7+. Chain multiple enchantments in one turn with cost reduction. With free reduced spells, you'll draw 5 to 10 cards in one turn cycle. Find your win conditions and either Voltron someone with a 40/40 Sythis or lock them out with Sphere of Safety. Key tip: always hold up protection or save Sterling Grove's Tutor for responses. Don't overextend into board wipes without hexproof shroud effects. And there you have it, folks. Sythis, Harvest's Hand, the Enchantress Voltron deck that buries opponents in card advantage while gaining massive amounts of life and swinging for lethal with a giant nymph. This deck rewards careful sequencing, protecting your key pieces, and knowing when to go all in for the kill. It's resilient, it's explosive, and it's incredibly satisfying to pilot. The feeling of chaining 6 enchantments in one turn, drawing 6 cards, gaining 6 life, and making your commander at 30/30 is unmatched. This is peak Selesnya gameplay. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that subscribe button, drop a like, and let me know in the comments what commander you want to see next. Should I cover more Enchantress builds? Or pivot to a totally different archetype? Let me know. Until next time, may your auras always stick and your life total always climb. Happy enchanting.